Welcome to 100% Footy. Gee, there's a good feeling about this show tonight. 9 rounds down in a 27-round season. Look at that for a lineup. Kevin Munster's in the house. We're here to PNG to see what all the fuss is about. Millie Elliott, after the Blues women went one up in the State of Origin series, and Dribble left, right and centre with our Hello Sport boys. So let's rip right into it.
Southwell steadies, kicks, and she's nailed it. New South Wales resurgence are going to take a 1-0 lead in the series. Here come the Dolphins. Bostock, Jack Bostock! He's mesmerised for Storm defence. Frustrations continue to build for the Storm.
And the boy from Gerringong just continues on a hell of a season that he's putting together.
That's a big try for the Warriors.
The eldest bloke on the field scores the first try of the match. It's all bad news for Brisbane here. Tupo away! Roosters on no! Walsh has saved it. Quick play the ball. Walsh goes over. This game was 30-0. Staggs went on with it. On report in the bit. Oh no! Staggs. The Roosters look like they've got enough. We promised a superstar showdown this afternoon on your Sunday ticket block, and it has delivered. Newcastle check goes up, broken through, away. Trey Mooney scores. Latrell Mitchell. He's lost it. The Knights are celebrating.
That man, well, he is the Tiger in Chief. Luai, and out and away and over is Dewey.
Oh, no. That's the bad ones where they pop out.
An intercept. It's Nico. He goes all the way and scores. Talangi goes himself. Talangi scores. Walsh. Oh, no, look past Olakawatu in the clear. Early ball, Bullimore. He's going to make it. They're over. Penrith will give it all they can handle. The Manly Seagulls, a formidable performance from a team that is becoming more formidable by the week.
Yes, a bit of everything in the ninth round of the competition. Great to have you with us here on 100% Footy. As I mentioned at the top, great vibe here tonight. First, the Roosters fans are up and about tonight, crowing, shall we say. First up, the man that's filthy that tax-free incomes weren't a thing back in his playing days, Mr. Paul Gallen. I think we're all filthy. I think everybody's filthy alone. Hello, Kevin Smith.
G'day, James.
Got
How
that
are you?
Maroons shirt out a bit early too, mate.
Oh, it's coming close.
Tempered it with a bit of blue, though. Just a little bit of blue. Hello, Alana Ferguson. Good to see you, Guru. And the top dog.
James Bracey, how you going?
Going good. You well?
They're very rowdy this lot tonight.
There's something good.
Very rowdy.
Now tonight, Kem, your mate. There's two Camerons in the house tonight.
Oh, it could be anyone.
What are we going to get with Mr. Munster tonight?
Who knows?
Look at him, there he is,
Well, he
getting
doesn't
his back
know.
on.
A bit like his footy. He doesn't know what's going to happen, so
He's
should be interesting.
Waiting in the wings. He'll be joining us very soon. Looking forward to heading over to PNG as well. We're going to be talking to the PM and the GM. James Marape and our old mate Michael Chammas going to be joining us live to give us a little look behind the scenes on what's happening now that they've got one player signed, potentially, of course, with Alex Johnston being the second as well, and then what we're expecting to be a whole lot of other players following in their wake. So more from PNG a little later on, but let's start tonight with just some of the footy that we saw over the weekend for consecutive weeks. Gus, 80-point games. Last week, another one yesterday.
Yep.
What happened in the Hunter?
Crazy, absolutely crazy. I've said this a number of times over the last few weeks. I think it gets to points in games where defences just cannot keep up. Well, it's got to be that. It's just got to be a fatigue factor, and the attack gets so much of the running. People talking about the six agains and the extra fatigue, but I think one of the most least publicised part of it is the scrutiny over the tackle technique and the high tackles and trying not to give away penalties. I think the defences have become far less aggressive, far more submissive, far more trying to grab players rather than actually hit because they don't want to risk penalties. The fine system, the judiciary system, the scrutiny over high contact has taken the heat out of defences, and with the speed of the game, once you do that and you get quicker play the balls and everything, it's not just the six agains, it's the scrutiny over the high tackles that's really changed tackle techniques, and there are points in the game or parts of the game where defence just can't keep up.
The ruck, I've never seen players get off a ruck so fast. Like, they're so concerned about giving a 6 to go away. They just make the tackle, get straight up. They're just getting off so fast these days.
Got to say, it is nice, Alana, to see the big names stepping up and players that are loving this at the moment. Latrell Mitchell, Kalen Ponga making his return.
Yeah, of course they are. Look, I love that game of footy. I thought it was entertainment galore. Thought we got to see some brilliant tries. But you're right, Latrell Mitchell, let's kick things off with him.
He's in beast mode.
He is in absolute beast mode. And when he wants to be, he can just do absolutely anything. I thought that was a huge moment. Like, totally monstered Kalen Ponga, then kicks it. That was the first time Souths led that game. But a huge moment when he wants to turn up, like, have a go at that. But he's also playing with a smile on his face. So when he's enjoying his footy, I mean, who wouldn't when you've got that kind of a build and those skills? But yeah, he can certainly turn one on.
I think the big reason too is he's back in his best position.
Yeah.
I always thought he was a centre. There's no doubt about that. I know there's a lot of outside backs that enjoy playing fullback and they're given the freedom to roam around and they touch the ball a lot. But I think he's always been an out-and-out centre. So I think that's why he's playing his best football this year. There's no doubt about that.
We'll delve into the origin situation with your mate Cam very soon, Cameron. But seeing Kalen back on the pitch, obviously, it's only a good thing for the Maroons.
Yeah, it's positive signs for Queensland, having a guy of his calibre back in the fold. I'm sure the coach, Billy Slater, he would have loved seeing him in action and stride out comfortably like he did there in the pitches that we're seeing. Long way to go, though, and when I say that, there's only a couple of rounds, but whenever I talk to Billy about State of Origin sides, he just says, look, I keep an eye on them week to week, and things change so quickly. But this is a positive start for Kalen. There's no doubt at his best, he's one of the top handful of players in the competition.
Can you decipher one difference between he and Rhys Walsh? What would make the difference between selection?
Well, maybe Billy might look at possible positioning. I'm not going to give too much away to you, Gus, because you're a blue bagger. All right, I know where this might be going to, but
is the question too hard?
I think
you framed it beautifully, though, Gus.
I think what Billy
what's
will
the
look
difference
at,
between the two? You think will make the difference for selection?
Well, I think they work away from the football. I think they're both brilliant players in attacking positions and can break games open, but it's the work they do, particularly in defence, and help position their defensive line. That's what Billy will be looking at most. That's what made him the greatest fullback of our game.
Bermuda Triangle was the scene for Sunday Footy on 9. Gal, you were sidelined to see your Sharkies put 50 on the West Tigers. Sharkies fans here tonight very happy with what they saw, but geez, brought the Tigers back down to earth after that win, which felt like an eternity against the Raiders.
Yeah, it did. And I thought, I'll be honest, for a lot of the first half, or the first 25, 30 minutes, I thought the Tigers were actually going pretty good and we're probably a little bit on top. I thought the Sharkies lacked a little bit of energy at times, but a play from Nico Hines. I think he cops a bit of criticism at times, Nico, but there's a play from Nico. He kicked about play 4 downfield, chased the kick on his own, made the tackle, made 2 or 3 tackles in a row, then got an intercept. The Sharkies scored off the back of that. I think that was probably in the last 10 minutes before half time. From that moment on, they controlled the entire match. In the second half, like at one stage in the second half, I think about 20 minutes into the second half, it was 95% possession to 5% to the Sharks. Like they just controlled the field position, controlled the ball tally, scored point after point. It was a really good win. And look, to be fair, they were due. They had a couple of ordinary weeks, the Sharks, particularly defensively. We all know what a defensively minded coach Craig Fitzgibbon is, so they were due to have a good performance, I thought. Up against the West Tigers side who have been flying pretty high. They ran, obviously, Buller was out before the game. They ran into a couple of injuries during the game. Fainu and Buller both went out. Dewey's gone. So a few issues for the West Tigers there, but they're definitely due to I think, fall down a little bit.
Gus, are you going to blame me for the Adam Dewey injury?
Yeah.
Talking about him leading in as
I told you last week you'd mock him.
Sorry, Adam. You feel so sorry for him. Like some
he's absolute mock.
The
Origin selections. Why do you think I'm talking about Rhys Walsh?
I told you, I told you.
Do we know how bad it is? Because look, for me, I probably had him in my 19 too, because he was going really well.
He's a month, so that's Origin 1.
So they had to put it like
if he dislocated his shoulder, there's a fair chance if he comes back in a month, it's not going to be good anyway.
I've got to say, though, there was a shot in the crowd late in the game with one Shark fan, one Tiger fan.
That's a different one.
It's never summed up a match more than, obviously, Nico runs away with it. It's game over. Sharks having a great old pay. It was 14,000? No, you can fit 14,000 in that crowd. Mum's happy. Poor little
fella. I know the one you were talking about Alana. There was one bloke that had his shirt off there and he was going absolutely ballistic.
No, we don't need to see that again.
He was going good. But I did see that one too, the poor young fella. So Benji Marshall, I reckon you should get that young kid to train and look after him.
I mean, the week that the Tigers had, you know, you think about last Sunday, we saw Jerome Luai-Alana getting paraded around PNG, and then I guess there was going to be a come down at one point because all week it was talk about Luai, then he signs in PNG and they do it in great style, both the Tigers and Papua New Guinea. Then the May boys re-sign, which is a great thing, and then Danny Wilder breaks over the weekend too. But Jareen Buller is going to be hanging around at the club long term. So there's so much happening around the Tigers. Perhaps maybe there's a lot of head noise surrounding the team at the moment.
Well, it probably paid out that way, didn't it? Look, as Gal spoke about the game itself, it was 18-10 at half-time. Like, that game was up for grabs. Yeah, they made some errors. They weren't able to defend them. But they could have come out in the second half and performed the way that they have previously during the season and ramped it up. I thought they backed right off, and that was where the game's on. So what it was that led to that, whether it was the outside noise or something else, they looked like a completely different defensive side. They did it tough. They had things go against them before the game, during the game with injury, but that wasn't the defensive side that we've seen from the Tigers. They've lost 2 other games, and one was by 1 point, one was by 4 points. They got absolutely smoked by the Sharks, so that's the thing they need to change.
Gus, Tigers fans get to enjoy creamy apple pie for a couple more years too.
Yeah, Jerome Buller's re-signed, which is good. On the Tigers and that during the week with the Jerome Buller announcement and all that sort of thing, I don't believe that had any effect on the game on the weekend. I think the Sharks were really good and the Sharks were due for a performance like that anyway. And to be honest, the Tigers were probably due for something like that as well when they really come up against a good side. But I will say that the ripple effect of the Jerome Luai signing with PNG has had right throughout the NRL. Everyone in clubs now panicking about players that are becoming off contract in 12 months and 18 months' time and trying to get them re-signed up. Now people are going to start taking big risks about re-signing players 18 months in advance. It's had a real ripple effect throughout the league. The introduction of these two teams, the Perth side and PNG, is had an enormous effect on the power of the player managers and what clubs are worried about with losing players and who's likely to go. I mean, everyone was a little bit, will people go to PNG? Jerome Luai signs, now everyone's going to PNG by the sound of it. So it's had a real effect.
I want to delve a little deeper on that with you as well once we talk to both the PM and the GM from PNG a little later on in the show as well. We're a stacked lineup tonight. Cam Munster, as we mentioned, he is waiting in the wings, ready to go. Cam and Cam going down memory lane. Obviously a lot happening at the Storm on and off the field at the moment. He's live on the desk in just a moment. Later, as we mentioned, PNG, what's next or who's next in terms of their signing spree. And of course, our dribblers back for more fun.
Coming up on 100% Dribble tonight, the Bulldogs are missing flights. Is there a culture crisis at the club? Stefano Utoikamanu doesn't have pants on. Why is that? Dylan Walker shouldn't be playing rugby league anymore, and the Newcastle Knights mascot takes on a zoo.
Cameron Munster, he's led his team to victory.
Mate, Sam Day delivery today. I can take you wherever you want to go.
And I'm hearing there's a little bit of hype around this new pub around Caxton Street there. The Milton Sports Bar. Let's go have a look.
All right, Money, tell us about the new pub. Where are we headed to?
Yeah, we're heading to Caxton Street. Me and a couple other business owners thought it would be an exciting opportunity to build a nice little sports bar in the heart of Brisbane. We've got some opportunities for not only families, but also people that like to stay out later as well. Well, Semi, this is the masterpiece, mate, the Milton Sports Bar.
It's got to be ready?
It's going to be ready, mate. It'll be ready in 2 weeks. We're just going to have tables and chairs here. The bar's going to be big, 360, so you can go around it as well.
Bifold windows there,
Bifold windows.
Opens up onto the...
You'll be able to open up, go out there, and then the big TV and watch the sports bar from there.
Oh, how good. I think it's a bit crooked, but that's all right.
This is the view of Suncorp Stadium, mate, the heart of rugby league.
Wow. I reckon this is me on the deck, mate.
In the budgies, shirt off?
Always.
Oh yes, what could possibly have gone wrong? Sam Thaiday, Kevin Munster hanging out thanks to our friends at Tourism and Events Queensland. I'm pleased to say the man himself is here in the studio tonight for Kevin Munster. Hello, mate.
Hey, Bracey, how you going?
Great to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming to the studio tonight to hang out with this lot. I know the bloke down the end's been looking forward to it. What about you becoming a publican? Uncle Nick sells the Caxton, the NRL owns the Beaton, you've gone, hold my beer, here I come, and the Milton's yours. How's it all going?
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. I'm sure Alana could probably attest to that, building her new house. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to have a go at builders, but no one's ever on schedule. So, yeah. It's,
if they all just said what they were going to do, it'd be great.
Yes, there wouldn't be no fights or no arguments. But, yeah, hopefully excited to open it up on Saturday or Sunday, but we'll find out in the next couple of days.
Well, he's a beer brand owner these days. I know he's trying to get some kegs into your pub too.
Yeah.
Is there a couple of taps available?
I don't speak goat, mate. There's a lot of I don't speak goat, so there's a lot of people that own that beer, and there's a fair few legends in that. So
You and I will talk after.
Yeah, we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Before we start this, is he ever serious? Like ever serious at all?
You've got no chance, Gus.
You can have a crack.
No, I'm not gonna.
I'm a big fan, Phil.
I know you're a big fan. I know that.
How would you have coached a bloke like this in Origin camp? I mean, you had a few probably like him.
All right, yeah, Origin looks after itself,
Yeah,
mate.
right, yep, done.
He'd fit right in.
Club's a different world. Speaking of club, look, there's the first time for everything. 7 straight losses, though, for the Melbourne Storm. Probably something you never, because I know fans didn't, envisage for the club. Where's the Nelly Sledge?
Yeah, it was about to happen. Yeah, look, it's pretty frustrating. I think we weren't good enough against Penrith. They were too good that night. But when you look at the Bronx and the Cowboys and those type of games, we were up at half-time, and we just, unfortunately, probably subconsciously in our mind at the moment, we're having really good first halves and then just falling away in the second half. I think we scored 4 points in the last 5 weeks in second half, so it's not great. But yeah, it's something that we need to address at the club. Yeah, we're training really well, working really hard, but at the end of the day, sometimes your preparation is not always going to mean you're going to have a great game on the weekend. So yeah, look, we're probably, as individuals, we're probably trying a little bit too hard and trying to, take it on our own shoulders and trying to be selfish. So, yeah, as a team, yeah, we've obviously got great players in our team, but speaking to Smithy off the air, like at times sometimes you forget how to win games when you start losing so many. So, yeah, we'll obviously get some confidence back, and we're probably 1 win away from hopefully going on a run. But yeah, at the same time, you got to somehow find it, because teams at the moment are smelling blood, and would have been nice if the Tigers played like that against us this week, but they'll get a rocket this week after the way they played against the Sharks. So we'll have to try and, play our best to, get a win for once.
Craig spoke about the inconsistencies this year.
Yeah.
From half to half. Sometimes you start the first half great, second half you fall off. Start the game not so great, but then you're good in the second half. Why the issues with the difference in halves? And you started the season so well. Like the first 2 matches, you were great. But then all of a sudden now it looks like you're low on confidence, you're low on energy. What's changed?
Yeah, it's a good question, Smithy. Look, it's been frustrating, but I think as individuals and as a team, we just haven't been able to, be consistent. And we spoke about that in our pre-season. There's like the last couple of years, we've been really good in games and then been really inconsistent. And Bellyache's always about, you got to be consistent all year, because on the biggest stage, those inconsistencies will come out. And that's probably why we've fallen short in the last couple of grand finals, is just our best is up there with the best, but unfortunately our worst is up there with some of the worst, So, look, it's one of those things, like I'm not playing great. Our spine hasn't been really gelling a whole heap. Probably our shining light for us at the moment is this Suafalongo, how good he's going and how much he can create space for not only himself but blokes outside him. But, yeah, we're just probably trying a little bit too hard, and things aren't going the way we want them to go. So, yeah, I've got to take a lot of the brunt. I haven't been great this year, but hopefully I can turn around just before Origin.
Do you feel like when it clicks and you come out the other side, because you are in an unfamiliar position, not just the fact that you're not winning games, but you've had a fair change of personnel as well. So you're navigating different parts of the games that are unfamiliar to the Melbourne Storm. Do you feel like when you come through this period in your footy that not just you but your teammates will genuinely learn and grow and benefit from this period that you've gone through? Maybe not if it works for this year, which I know you want it to, but building in towards next season as well?
Yeah, I think you probably hit the nail on the head there, Lana. It's one of those things where we've got a lot of young kids. Like when I first played, my first game I played 50 reserve grade games, where a lot of our young kids have probably just played Jersey Flag under 21s and won it, and they've had all the success as young kids, and they've come in the team, and now we've just had 6 on the trot, and some of those kids haven't even tasted New South Wales Cup, So a lot of them have only played their first game. You look at Cooper Clark, he's going to be a freak eventually. He's still a good talent now, but I feel like those young kids are probably losing confidence because of what we've been able to achieve this year with our losses. So, yeah, we've got to try and get those young boys up. It's going to be pretty tough, but, yeah, I think for us, like you said, it's just that young group. They're going to benefit for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm getting a little bit older, so I've been able to, taste success and not have lost 7 games on the trot. So, yeah, it's a bit of a different territory for me, but if I can somehow find a way to, show the boys that I can get back up and, face these challenges. And I think we're going to win the next 11 out of 16. So it's a great challenge, and how good we can say we made the finals. Penrith did it similar last year, but unfortunately, their spine stood up. So we need to stand up in the next 11 games. And if we don't do that, then we might be having a look at Cancun.
In fairness to the Melbourne Storm, though, you lost 4 or 5 really key players like thunderbolts. This wasn't a gradual thing where you saw they were going to retire or what have you. So Pappenhausen, Couture gets injured, Sofa Solomona leaves the club, Xavier Coates has got injured early in the year, now Jerome Hughes. It's kind of like instantly you got 4 or 5 real key players, and then you look around you and they're replaced by kids. They're not replaced by seasoned NRL players, so it's got to make a difference to the whole makeup of the team and the way they think about their football.
Yeah, for sure. We know. Well, I'm probably expecting a high standard, and the boys feel like that too. But yeah, like you said, some of those young kids will learn from these losses and learn from certain things. Like on the weekend, we had 2 opportunities against the Redcliffe Dolphins, and we dropped the ball both times, and it wasn't really shape or anything high expansive. It was like a high percentage play, and we dropped it, and we didn't see the ball for 15, 20 minutes, and. I don't care who you are, unless you're Nathan Cleary, but 15, 20 minutes defending, it's going to be hard to come back and win those games. So we just got to understand the moments and those little concentration areas that we're doing is really taking a toll on the team, especially in defence. And we've all missed a lot of tackles this year, especially myself. And for us, it's probably older boys, like you said, probably the biggest one for us. Perhaps was probably his leadership. He's a little bit outside the box, so he always had that different mindset or different way he saw things. And then with Ellie, Ellie didn't speak a whole heap, but God, he could play some football. And we've obviously the best back row in the competition for the last couple of years, and this game's got some great back rows, and that just shows the testament of him as a person and a player. And to lose someone like that in unfortunate circumstances, it definitely takes a toll. But we've still got some good quality back rows as well. It's just a matter of just trying to fast track them and trying to gel. And look at Joey Chan, he's been playing some really good footy the first couple of weeks, but when you lose games, those type of guys have only played 20 to 30 games. They lose that confidence, and we need to try and somehow find it back, and hopefully we instill that belief. Because I still believe in our team and our squad, and if we can make the 8, we can give it a shake. But at the same time, history sometimes says if you get 50 on you, it's hard to win the grand final.
I think that's nearly the world's longest answer.
Thank you, Gus.
And Gus has given a few.
You're welcome, mate.
That's it, Gus. You've got to do all this, though, with the news that rocked the Rugby League world last week, and with what Craig's going through at the moment, and what the players, I imagine, are going through as well. How is the playing group, and how is your boss standing up at the moment?
Yeah, look, it was pretty tough to take. And for myself, he's a bit of a father figure for a lot of those kids, especially myself. I know when I left Rockhampton at 18 or 19, and obviously didn't have my family down there, and he would become a father figure for myself, and it hit home a lot when you hear someone like that going through a tough time. And we still believe in him and still believe in what he is able to achieve this year. I'm not too sure what further down the track, but to have that noise hit home with what we've had this year. You look at Ellie last year, you look at Tui with his heart, and now Craig has been a bit of an interesting year and a bit of a roller coaster, but we fully believe in him. We've still got his back, and he's still got a lot to give to this team and in this game. And I know it's doom and gloom at the moment, and hopefully we can, play the season out for him or play the rest of the season for him. And I'm not too sure what lies further for him, but I definitely still believe in him, and he's still one of the best coaches in the game.
Yeah, well said, mate. And of course, our thoughts from Nine Wildwaller Sports to Bellyache and his family. On a positive note, Origin's around the corner. Gus's favourite topic. You walked on you walked onto the set, you looked at Cam, said, "You're a selector, so I better suck up to you tonight." Well, he's not one anymore with the Queensland team. Mate, you'll be there. I think we all expect Billy to be putting you in that number 6
Well, there's
jersey.
an assistant coach role there, so I might be a chance.
Talk us through what we can expect from Queensland, because you do, again, as always, seem sport for choice. And I don't know whether it's because of the part of the world we're based in at the moment, but a lot of talk, because of Gus, because he won't shut up about Origin, is about the Blues.
Oh, they're a good quality outfit, especially with the guys that are playing at the moment. There's been a lot of informed players that have played probably the last couple of years for the Blues. But for us, we can probably name a handful of blokes, especially from North Queensland Cowboys. I think they're showing the competition at the moment how to play this style of footy. You look at Jake Clifford's been playing some outstanding footy. Tommy Dearden. Obviously, Britton Nakora is now eligible for Queensland, so he's going to be a handy back row for us. But we're pretty star-studded with back rows as well, with Helam Lukey. Finiaki from the Dolphins, he's playing career best footy. So, yeah, I watch my footy a lot. Who knows what the team's going to be looking like, but I can probably guarantee that probably Paddy Carrigan and Harry Grant will probably be in there.
Who do you think your fullback's going to be?
Great question, Alana.
Who we got? Hannah.
You got a couple.
Who you got?
Emma, Reece,
got a few.
Kalen. There's a fair few. Mate, it's going to be a tough one. Hemma was there in game 3. I know Reece had a great year at the back end, so I'm sure both of them will be pretty handy in every position. I think Kalen probably steals that 14 position. I know Smithy was talking about defensively, about getting your line org sorted and your organisation at the back. So, but I just think Kalen can, play every position. Same with Hammer. So, I'm sure they'll be both in the 19. With the great rules these days, you can, have a bench and pretty much pick whoever you want if someone gets injured. So, it's a great luxury to have, Bill.
Daniel Saifiti today, obviously an Origin rival of yours, medically retired from the game as well. In a nutshell, him as a player.
He was a beast. I didn't like running at him, that's for sure. Him and his brother. They were big boys. Yeah, look, it's disappointing, especially medically retired. I think you're very lucky at certain stages of this game that it's a contact sport, and there's the very rare players these days get to go out on their own terms, So having a mate, Christian Walsh, have HIA problems and back problems, and he had the medically retired too. So Saifiti Daniel would have had a lot of time to obviously think about this decision and wouldn't have made it lightly, but yeah, the game's lost a great forward, and I'm half happy that he's not playing for the Blues, but at the same time, it's disappointing for the Dolphins and himself and his family. So, wish him all the best with everything that he's doing.
Good on your money. Well done, Daniel Saifiti, bowing out as a Dolphin. All right, now our tab top 3. Let's go down memory lane with our special guest, Cameron Munster, here tonight. Your most influential moments throughout your career, obviously the 2020 Grand Final right up there.
That was probably, I was a little bit humming and hawing on either that or 2017, but with the way COVID was, and Melbourne was a bit of a hotspot at the time, we had to move up to Twin Waters, and the big skipper there, look at him, how old he is. Hasn't changed one bit, still the same. But yeah, that was probably something that's for Victoria. They were doing it tough, and just to give back to them as fans and give them something to, silverware was probably my top 3.
Taking the captaincy of Queensland and then that series last year, particularly this one in game 2, leading out the Maroons, the win. Run us through what that's like.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked to get the nod from Bill at the start. I've never captained anything in my life, so to be able to have the C next to my name for the Maroons was pretty special. I was flat out lucky to get the captaincy at the Storm, so to have that, and then just what I was able to achieve that series, man of the match in game 2, and then everyone knows what happened in game 3, and being able to hold the shield with Pups was definitely my moment of my career.
And we're going to go back to your number 1 moment. You mentioned 2017, the debut out there in State of Origin footy as well, and this being a decider as well.
Yeah, it's pretty special. Probably wasn't the first pick. I know it was like a Stephen Bradbury moment. Milford played game 1. JT's injury in game 2 with his shoulder, and then unfortunately there was no one else to pick, and Smithy and Coops and Bill with my spine at the Storm. So I said, all right, mate, have a go. And then I trained like a bastard that week too.
He was no good.
What, were you nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, I threw every ball to the ground. I remember Smithy telling me after the game, was like, oh, mate, you're lucky you played like that because, mate, Kevin was about to hook you from the old camp. So, yeah, it was a bit of a...
True, Cam?
Well, after game 2, so JT gets the shoulder injury, and so Kevy rings me and says, mate, what are we going to do with the 6? I said, put the young fella in. Young bloke down at Melbourne, he'll play the house down, I promise you. So he picks him. The first 3 days, he trains awful. Can't catch a ball, throwing all the passes to the ground, throwing at blokes' knees and ankles. But he came good. He was one of the best players on the field that night.
Well done, you mate.
1 out of 30.
So he's a selector.
Too good. He's going to stick around. Cam Munster here tonight. Stay with us. Just warming up. 100% footy right here on 9 in just a moment. What about that match? The Roosters and the Broncos, an epic. We dissect it all. Millie Elliott swings by after the Blues claimed Origin 1. And we're chatting to PNG, PM and GM. But as we head to the break, these boys have got plenty to work with.
You are listening to 100% Dribble with Hello Sport. All right, welcome back to 100% Dribble, brought to you by Good Day Daily Multivitamins. 1 sachet into water. It's the least you can do. Let's get into it. Now, Edward, the Canterbury Bulldogs' culture has been called into question, particularly in this article by Peter Bedell, after 4 of their players missed a plane flight to Brisbane ahead of their Anzac Day clash. Do you want to know why?
I'd love to know why, Tom.
Because one of the players got the runs at the airport.
One of them?
Yeah.
And his mates were helping?
Well... One in, all in. I think it's good for club culture. I'm not quite sure what Bedell's talking about.
You know how they say lead from the front? Sometimes you got to lead from the back, Tom.
Now, we have no confirmation on which player had the runs, but I like to think it was Kickow, because I imagine that'd be quite a lot. Now, while we're on things coming out the back door, Stefano Utoikamanu, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but he got dacked twice in a set of 6.
Double dacking.
He got a double dacking in the set of 6. I'm going to have to check the tape. I don't know if the shorts are ripped and he needs to change, but a double dacking inside a set of 6, you don't see it.
You don't see it. Never seen it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's a full moon.
I think that might be a rip.
Give it to me. Bang.
Double dacking! The double dacking! Look at that!
He's not got any undies on, Tom!
Dack me once, shame on you. Dack me twice, shame on me. Now, Eddie, I'd like to take a moment to pour one out for Dylan Walker of Parramatta Eels fame. You'll remember famously last week in the Eels lost to the Manly Sea Eagles, Hamole put on one of the great shots of all time. Just let's play that now. Oh!
Lordy, lordy.
Now, Dylan does not return to the game after that hit.
That's a little bit of shouldn't have left the Seagulls from Hamole there.
Yeah, no, I think it is, and I think he's well within his rights to dish that out. Now, fast forward a week later, the Parramatta Eels are taking on the Warriors. Val Munga off the back fence. Dylan Walker, with no respect for his body, gets in front of Val Munga saying, yeah, good luck, brother. Oh! Why would you do it?
Oh, Dylan Walker.
Why would you do it?
Love Dylan Walker, huge fan of his work. However, you've been pumped in consecutive weeks.
Now, to round it out, Eddie, Nikita Zoo, heard of him.
Brother of Tim Zoo.
Son of Kostya Zoo. He's got a fight coming up, and he's in Newcastle, or Zoocastle, as they like to call it. And to do a bit of promo, he's dancing around the ring. I think he's hitting mitts with Block or Roach. He's doing a bit of crowd work. And then the Knights mascot comes in to the ring and wants to step to the man.
Drop him.
You know what? I'm actually not that disappointed at seeing a mascot go down, given the uproar last year when the Rabbitohs mascot smacked that kid. I think mascots had it coming. You talk shit, you get hit.
Also, that doesn't look like the Knights logo.
Not a Knight.
Not a Knight, that
Not
guy.
a Knight.
Not a
What
Knight.
is that?
That's your first problem.
Yeah, not a Knight.
And you've got big, weird slippers on.
Yeah. Knights didn't wear slippers, newsflash. That's all we have time for this week. Shout out to Good Day. 1 sachet into water, Edward.
Oh, baby, yes.
It's the least you can do. We might see ya in PNG.
Fizzled out the Tigers are the real deal. Royce Hunt runs 40 metres.
Look at the rock and roll up there on the hill now. Have a look at them, party time.
While we've been enjoying the footy here at Brookvale, Danny Wildler has broken that Jerome Luai has been seen in Papua New Guinea, so Tigers fans will be waiting with bated breath.
The superstar West Tiger arrived in PNG with his wife. He was given a tour of facilities. His contract situation is a little bit complicated. He's a free agent until April 30, so he can sign with the Chiefs for 2028.
Touching back down in Sydney, Jerome Luai sneaks into a waiting car, dodging cameras as he leaves the airport.
It's my understanding that Jerome Luai has told the West Tigers that he'll be going to the Chiefs in 2028. He's going to become probably the biggest earning rugby league player in history.
I live and breathe team first. My brothers know that. They're happy for me and my family. This club will be in a great position when I leave. I've done what I had to do, and now I've got to focus on Sunday.
I had a guy in my office who was a bit broken down, emotional about making a decision that clearly wasn't just about himself, and an opportunity that was simply too good to refuse for him.
It sends a message. If it's good enough for Jerome, it's good enough for anyone. We've been pretty confident as a club that we would put a competitive roster together. He's everything we want. He ticks every single box.
Yes, it's been a week like few other in the world of rugby league, with the PNG signing their first player, and some player it is, a four-time premiership winner in Jerome Luai on a lucrative contract to begin from 2028. And I'm pleased to say tonight, joining us from PNG is the Prime Minister himself, James Marape, and the General Manager of Football in Michael Chammas. Gents, great to see you there at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club, straight off the course, living the dream and plenty to celebrate on what I imagine, Prime Minister, you've obviously wanted this team to come to fruition for so long. It must feel really real now that you've got one name signed on that dotted line.
Yeah, full credit to Michael and my team who worked behind the scene. For us in PNG, Rugby League is bigger than just a game. It's a national unification strategy to unite Papua New Guinea, the most diverse nation on earth, as well as reaching out to our Pacific brothers and sisters and anchoring our relationship with Australia and New Zealand. So I cannot complain. Shout out to my team who put a very good work in getting our first signature player, 001, and we're excited with this prospect.
Prime Minister, can you just elaborate on that unification process? Because I spent some time in PNG with your predecessors. Both of them wanted an NRL franchise. They described your country as 800 tribes, 800 different languages, but they thought that a rugby league franchise would unite the nation as one. Is that still the program?
That is the program. It's similar to the Nelson Mandela strategy in fielding Springboks in his country to unite his country. For us, having a rugby league team will unite these 800 language groups, 800 different tribes into one nation, one people, one country. We now call it one team that unites this nation together, but with an obvious strategy to have a strong link to our Pacific brothers and sisters. And Jerome just fits the bill. And I just want to thank West Tigers, especially Coach Benji Marshall and all who understood that this is bigger than just rugby league for us. It is not just rugby league, sports and business. It is a national unity strategy, and we're trying to pull together the best available. I have minimal role in this one. It is Michael and his team who are out there doing what they're supposed to do. My job comes in at the back end just to make sure everything is okay. But I just want to thank Michael and the team who made it happen for us. First signing and more to come.
Chammy, I want to ask you actually about your coach, Willie Peters. You two as a whole, what did you love about the traits that he possesses to lead the first PNG side?
Yeah, like Willie's obviously delighted about getting Jerome on board. I had a number of chats with Willie about the kind of person that we wanted, and I guess not just on the field but off the field, even more important, as Prime Minister just touched on, the role that person will play in uniting this country. Everyone knows what Jerome delivers on the field, but off the field, he came here last week and you could see it in his eyes that he was touched by what this team would do to the country. He spoke about how he felt as though it reminded him of Samoa and being back home. And I know Prime Minister's been really modest about his involvement in all this, but I don't think until he heard it from his mouth and he could see that the passion and what it would do for his people, that he began to realise the role that he could play here. So we're very thankful for that, and I think Jerome is the perfect person for us, not just on the field, but definitely off the field as well.
PM and Chammas, thanks for obviously being on here. It's Cam Munster. I just want to say congratulations on signing Luai as your first marquee player. I know you don't want to go into too much depth, but who's your next target? Is it another spine player, or are you looking to up front in the middle?
It's definitely beyond my pay grade. I have team doing the job. It's their job. I'll accept whichever players they picked. They're professionals. I don't have that professional lens, so I'll leave it to them to decide. Michael and Coach Peters and everybody else.
Well, the first thing I have to do is he's got Broncos shorts on, so unfortunately I've got to try and convert him into a Chiefs fan before we do anything else.
I still hold Melbourne close to heart also, but look, everyone else has a team, second team and a third team. 2028, my first team will be Chiefs going forward now, but obviously second team and third team still remains. And of course, Melbourne Storm and Brisbane Broncos ranks there. We hope Chiefs becomes your second team and everybody else's second team in Australia.
I'll send you some Perth Bears socks as well, PM. Over to you, Gal.
Prime Minister, I'm just curious from your point of view, or from the Papua New Guinean people's point of view, is there an expectation about how much local talent you have in this side, or is there an understanding that you're probably going to have to get a lot of imports initially to really compete?
Well, the local players have been told by me and everyone else that they must step up to NRL standard. We don't want to just make up the numbers. We want to be very strong from game one. And so I will leave it to the team officials to pick the best available. But in between now and then, we're working to strengthen our domestic competition, our junior competitions. We will have outreach to our junior competitions, working with Fijian Rugby League, Samoan Rugby League, Tongan Rugby League. As I said earlier, this is more than just PNG. It is the entire Pacific, living with Australia and New Zealand as a family in this part of the world when there's so much fragility happening in other regions across the world. Myself and Prime Minister Albanese thinking beyond this generation to the next generation. We want our people, our family in the Pacific to remain together as always, and sports has the greatest power to unite different nations, and certainly playing in NRL, the best competition in the world, has this appeal to gravitate PNG to one purpose, one unity, as well as linking up with our brothers and sisters. So starting off, the team management will put the best team available. We don't want to encroach into other teams' contract obligation to the players. We respect every process and the due process. The team will get to work, and filling in the best team is in our interest. But in between now and into the immediate future, we want to make sure that our pool here in PNG fits the team with good players that is homebred from within. But obviously, as a business unit, best team on roster is the team's interest, and I will leave it at Michael and the coach to establish best teams going forward.
We'll let you both get back to work. Prime Minister James Marape, General Manager of the PNG Chiefs, Michael Chammas, thanks for your time tonight on 100% Footy.
Thank you for having us. Go to Chiefs.
You talk about things you never expected to see. Michael Chammas next to a Prime Minister talking rugby league. And what about the Broncos shorts? Gus, you mentioned earlier, obviously PNG and what's happened over the last week, it has sparked so much interest, particularly from the player agent side of things. Right now, as a GM of football at the Bulldogs, how hard is it in terms of recruitment, but also retaining players you've got? With what's
For the
going
current
on?
clubs?
For you right now at the Dogs?
Well, there are
and for
another
other
two
clubs.
options. I mean, obviously Perth and now, you know, with Jerome's, as I said at the start of the show, Jerome's signing there has probably opened the floodgates for other people to explore what he went there and saw, why he was inspired to sign straight away, and why he's committed his rest of his career to go up there and be a part of that. And when you go to PNG, it is rather inspiring. I went there many, many years ago and met Sir Michael Samare, who was the Prime Minister at the time, and Mr Marape worked for him as well, and Peter O'Neill after him. And part of this getting an NRL franchise was about this country educating its people. There are 800 tribes, 800 different languages. They live all over the Papua New Guinea. They're not in one central area. And he needed his kids to go to school. Kids didn't go to school. But when he made rugby league a subject, kids went to school. And he thought if he could get an NRL franchise and everyone support the same thing, it would help his people get educated so they could get jobs and they could take advantage of the resources boom that was happening in Papua New Guinea at the time. So like he said, this is a greater strategy than just putting a rugby league team on the field and being in the NRL. It's about the whole country and the future of the country and how it looks in the next 10 and 20 years' time. And rugby league can change a nation. It can absolutely change a nation. So I can understand why Jerome went there and heard this probably for the first time and thought, you know what, that's something really special. You know, he'll be 31 when he gets there. He's had an extraordinary success in his career. He's 4 premierships with the Panthers. He's gone to the Tigers and turned them around. He said, the job will be done when I'm done. Now he goes off to Papua New Guinea to do something that will be life-changing for millions and millions of people up there. And I've known James for some time. I've met him a number of times with other Prime Ministers, and they all carry the same sort of incentive to make this happen for them.
I still think that the Chiefs themselves will be very, very selective about who they actually get there. They're going to have to meet a criteria of the players, because they're not going to. I think they're going to want as many family men there as possible. I don't think they're going to want a lot of single blokes there. For example, don't forget they're going to live in the compound. Yep. They're still living in the compound. Initially, it all seems great. The tax-free dollars is a huge advantage. But I think the Chiefs are going to be very,
very...
They're going to earn it. Absolutely. Yeah. It is. I've been there a couple of times. It's a different place. It's a third world country. Yeah. Okay, so I think they're going to be very, very selective about who they go out and get.
I do have to say, too, as a Perth Bears board member and a Perth Bears fan, I fear for what feels like an unofficial freeze on the player market at the moment while agents are looking and wondering what's going to happen. And I've loved hearing from Trent Robinson and Ivan Cleary, the authoritative figures in our game with so much experience, saying that they believe Perth needs, in some way, shape or form, with their pre-season now just a handful of months away, and their season starting next year, not in 2028, that they need some form of help.
But Brace, my issue with the Perth Bears is, I'm not trying to have a go at you, but I don't see you've done nothing.
Have you seen? Look at that list there,
exactly, look at that list.
And tell me that's nothing.
Okay, look at that list.
So Tyron Wishart's nothing. Nick Meaney's nothing. William Henry, Scott Sorensen.
Let me ask you a
question.
Which one of them blokes have you had on the TV? Jerome Luai was
They
all
play for
over.
other clubs at the moment, Gal. They can't.
When did you have when did you have them over?
What do you want them to do?
Jerome Luai played for the West Tigers.
But he didn't walk out in the PNG Chiefs polo and go, how good are the Chiefs?
Actually,
he walked out with Benji Marshall and Alex.
Why did you? None of them blokes have been publicised when they've signed.
Well, the Bears can do that, but they can't because they're contracted to other clubs.
The Bears need to do that. The Bears need to do something. Go and take them out on a bench over there. Show them how good Perth is. Well, show something good about Perth.
Yeah,
You've done nothing.
Perth's not another country. We all know
it's in Australia, and you've done nothing.
What do you want them to do other than
promote Perth? Promote how good.
It's exactly what we do.
Promote how good going to Perth
the Sharks were selling Bears merchandise at Optus Stadium a couple of weeks ago in Perth.
Forget about the Sharks. It's got nothing to do with the Sharks. It's about
no,
Perth.
they were helping us.
Exactly. The Sharks are helping Perth.
Because the Bears went there and said, hey, can you help us out at Optus Stadium? Can we have some time with some signage and put the Bears logo up and get some publicity out there? Because at the moment, when you're a new club starting and you can't play yet, the coach, and Mal Meninga is an icon of our game, is your only selling point unless you've got a player that isn't contracted to another club. So you've got no way of marketing yourself. We're going off history at the moment.
Jerome Luai's just been publicised everywhere that he's signed with the Chiefs, has he not?
But that's got nothing to do with the Chiefs.
Tell me why the Bears can't do that. Why can't the Bears do that with all the players they've signed?
Well, we can announce it, but we can't get them talking, Gal. What do you want us to do?
Why didn't you announce it? Why didn't you announce it publicly?
You want me to go and put a Perth Bears polo on Scott Sorensen and say, come on, mate, talk it up?
You probably can't do a Perth Bears polo.
No,
you can promote it. You can make more noise about it. How? You're right here on TV.
Announce the signing.
You're right here on TV every single week. Promote what you've done.
I wear red and black undies on this show. No one knows that.
In my opinion, you haven't done enough. In my opinion, your club has not done enough.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Well, mate, the proof's in the pudding. The proof's in the pudding. You have not done enough.
What I really want to know what your idea is. There's so many people out there that this is the problem. This is the problem. Come up with a solution. There's clearly a problem here, and there's no doubt about that.
The coaches were making, though, Brace, about competing right now with PNG, which. Yep. I mean, take it or leave it. It's tax-free money. It's money that can change your life. Yep. That does make it exceptionally tricky for the Perth Bears to complete their roster because now players are saying, hold on a second, and we've all agreed on this panel tonight that the conversation's changed over the week or so that Luai's agreed to go there. Yep. That does not make things easier for the Perth Bears. And us as a game, we've decided to bring in the Perth Bears. And what the other two coaches that you alluded to have chimed in and said they need extra help, that conversation is worth at least delving into to make sure that they're a success when they come in, not an absolute flop.
And it's in the game's interest for them to succeed. I like this arguing with Gal thing.
This is so good.
This is good. I can see why you like the on this.
Let's not forget, every club's also getting $4 million because the Chiefs come in. No one's complaining about getting the $4 million on top of it because the Chiefs are coming. We're all getting that too.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with the Perth Bears?
Well, that's another advantage. But the Perth Bears are also getting
our situation at the moment.
The Perth Bears are also getting that too.
So you've just got your first lesson in club management. Don't argue with the media.
Yep, correct.
Just let it go. Let it go.
I am positive that change will come, and the right people are listening, and hopefully.
Come on, Bears.
Help is on the way, baby. Help is on the way. Stay with us. You're watching 100% Footy. Hot under the collar tonight. I like this. State of Origin with Millie Elliott here in the studio. We relive that epic between the Chooks and the Broncos the other night as well. And what a story, Cody Ramsey. We're back with more in just a moment. Go you Bears! Welcome back. Holy moly. We've cooled down a bit, haven't we? Just sort of a little. Now it's time for our round 9 quality moments. Thanks to ALDI prices. And boy, how can you just not stare with awe at what unfolded on Saturday night? It was billed as a blockbuster, lived up to the hype. These two teams, Cam, it was the Roosters by plenty, then the Broncos come storming back. In the end, 38-24. That you just know they're going to be there at the business end, don't you?
The Roosters, yeah, they've been playing some really good footy, but yeah, when you look at the Broncos and what they've lost with Arsenal and stuff the last couple of weeks, and they've been able to, grind teams away and win games, and then you can never count the Broncos. I know full well last year with the heartbreak of us in the grand final. So you got guys like Tony Staggs playing, career best footy. Reece Walsh being back, when he's playing footy, you never be comfortable with Reece Walsh, and then you see Ches winding back the clock with his shell and go and beating Ezra Mann over the try line. So. Yeah, Ches is winding back the clock, and it's good to see.
Tony Staggs, Gus, how would you best describe Tony Staggs as a footy player?
I love him. He's a beast. First saw him play at 15 years of age out at Wellington in New South Wales.
Something in the water.
Eh?
There's something in the water in Wellington.
Couldn't believe it. His manager was a Bronco supporter. Couldn't believe it, could you?
There you go.
Fancy finding a kid in Wellington, New South Wales, who's managed by a Bronco supporter.
He can be
Ended up in
wild.
Brisbane. He's an Origin player, mate. He's an Origin player. They should pick him.
Doesn't help when unfolded on Saturday night, though.
Oh, well, they get away with that in Origin.
Gal did.
So you'd have he and Latrell either side?
Don't pick your teams.
Yeah, right, there we go.
There you go again, Bracey. You put a red pen through another one.
Speaking of madmen, what about Victor? Crikey, he was off his head too.
Victor Radley, he was going hard, wasn't he?
As opposed to what?
Yeah, he always goes hard. You got Patrick Carrigan with a pretty good shot, actually. And then when you watch the replay, he actually led with his head accidentally. So, Victor's one of them blokes who unfortunately comes under a fair bit of scrutiny. And I don't think he goes out to do anything wrong, to be honest. He just plays as hard as he possibly can. That one there, obviously, hip drop's accidental. These days, the one on Pat Carrigan was accidental. That one there was a bit high. So, how many's he been charged for?
I know he's fine.
He got through them all.
He's sweet ace.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was his reaction too.
Wow. Did he react to that? Really? He would have.
No, he's all good.
He got penalised about 8 times. Never got charged once. Not even a fine.
He's ready to go to the judiciary.
Oh,
Didn't have to.
buy a lottery ticket, young
With
man.
the new rules,
I tell you what, is there a better?
be a chance?
I think with the new rules, it'd be a chance for sure. Particularly with the 19-man bench these days. Yeah, he's probably a guy who can probably put in a hooker there too. If they went to pick 2 hookers, he could probably play at hooker somewhere there. Obviously anywhere in the forward pack, so there's a chance. Yeah.
Is there a better storyline at the moment than Cody Ramsey in the comeback for that serious bowel condition? He's gone for 4 years. I'll never forget. I remember his debut as a young Dragon, and here he is now as a Rooster. And well, listening to Trent Robinson, they can't talk highly enough of him.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? And hearing Cody speak after the game as well. So emotional. I love the fact that he was advised never to play the game again, because that can do one or two things. That can get in your head, it can steer you right off the park, and you go and find another avenue. But what it did for Cody was he ripped in tenfold, and he was out to prove them wrong. I mean, he loves rugby league like the rest of us more than anything in the world, and he took the advice, put it to the side, and then was lucky enough to be picked up by a great club in the Roosters, who, before he even turned up on the training field, really invested in him and his best interest. And you can see that confidence in him when he went onto the field. I mean, he'd been lined up as 18th man, wasn't expecting to go onto the field, but just the way his teammates reacted on the field after the game, it's a great story.
He was interviewed tonight on Channel 9 News by Danny Widler, but his mother was interviewed. If you can catch the interview with his mother and hear what the family's been through, it's an extraordinary story.
Yeah, she was simply brilliant,
Yeah.
talking about what they have been through, and his partner as well, who's been there for the journey. So well done, the young Cody Ramsey. Before we let Cameron Munster go tonight, Cam, now I'm seeing a cap.
And a little pig, yeah.
And a little piggy here on the desk. The Bella Tripp Foundation. Bit of insight for us, please.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Bella Tripp, obviously the daughter of Matt Tripp, the chairman of the Melbourne Storm, went through a bit of a tough battle with obviously bone marrow and a little bit of a blood disease, and unfortunately passed away several years ago. And we got obviously the Bella Tripp Foundation this weekend on Sunday for Mother's Day, and yeah, it's a bit of a special thing and close to our hearts at the Storm. And we've obviously got merchandise on game day on Sunday against the Tigers, and you get your little piggy and a little hat, and there's going to be some Storm colours braided into some girls' hair. So, great initiative. And then, we look really excited to, be able to be an ambassador for the Bella Tripp Foundation. But then my wife, as well as doing the Mother's Day walk for breast cancer and ovarian cancer, it's a bit of a close thing to her heart. So, look, it's a beautiful Sunday, and hopefully a lot of people can come out to Tammy Park and watch us play.
Beautiful stuff, mate. The Bella Tripp Foundation.org.au. Great to have you here tonight, Cameron. All the best for the rest of the season, digging your way out of this.
Thanks, mate. I'll have to talk to Gal about how we can find a way to win. So
yeah. I don't talk to Gal now. I'm done with him too. Cam Munster, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on 100% Footy in just a moment. Cameron Munster out and Millie Elliott in. We're talking Women's State of Origin after the Blues won Game 1 in Newey. Back in a sec. Welcome back to 100% Footy. Great to have your company. Time to talk Women's State of Origin. We had a whole lot of time booked in for it, but Gal decided to pick a fight with someone who's got Anthony's pants at the moment. But Millie Elliott is in the house. Hello, Millie. Hello. Great to see you. Jeez, I've got to say, I loved the whole week leading into Game 1 in Newcastle and seeing you and Gigi and Adam and talking about your comeback. And your first game back just happens to be in Origin in Newcastle, a place close to your heart, and you come away with the win against the Maroons.
I know. Thank God. That's our third time playing in Newcastle, in New South Wales. And Newey always turn up for Origin for the girls, and finally snagged a win there just. I don't know if you saw it right in the last play when we were up by 1 point and we decided to, shift the ball and Julia Robinson nearly...
We do not love that break.
Why did you love that?
I love that. It's from an entertainment point of view.
Couldn't we intercept trying to the post, game over?
Game over, and then we've got to go win 2 in a row. No, so look, it was just good to get the win, but tough stuff for the first game of the year, I will say that. I know I spoke to you guys last week when I was in Newey, and it was insane, honestly.
It was brutal, wasn't it? I thought defensively, like some really classy Origin moments. You spoke about that last pass that set up Jess Surges for the final try. Great that it ended that way. But aside from that moment, is there any changes in style of footy that you think will change for Game 2 and 3? Because it is a big ask to play an Origin game as your first game of the season where... I mean, what was it, September, October, that most people have played footy?
Yeah, look, we'll all go over it as a team and adjust a few things here and there. I think the squad, barring a few injuries here and there, will stay quite similar. So, we'll go into camp again, reassess as a team and, I honestly haven't even watched it back yet, and it's like... Oh, God, I know I did a few things wrong. I'm not looking forward to that coming up in video. But, look, first game back, there's a lot of pressure and everyone, takes a lot of accountability for that. So we'll readjust.
You just said you're looking forward to getting back into camp. When do you actually go back into camp and begin preparation for Game 2? And do you go to Queensland for that?
Yeah, we go in this Thursday. So there's a few days in between and we're back in pretty much. So back in on Thursday and then fly to... Bracey on Saturday, so it's nice. We can spend some time up in Queensland. It is nice and warm up there, which is the only thing good about Queensland, to be honest. So.
Yes, she is.
I love it. And they get 2 games up there too, Goldie.
I know. Yeah. Well, there was 2 games in New South Wales last year, so it doesn't really matter where we play. Get the job done.
And how did the family go watching on?
Yeah, no, it was great to have all the fam there and little Gigi, she was asleep by the time I got there and I had to wake her up. She wasn't very happy, but God, she's a big girl, isn't she? Beautiful.
Oh, the earmuffs.
I know,
so beautiful,
I know, love her. It was such a special moment. I think it's still a little bit surreal, but, looking back on this moment, that'll be so special and, yeah. What's Rummy doing in there? Get out, Rummy. It's my moment, not yours.
So when she grows up and she says, Mum, I want to be a rugby league front rower, what are you going to say?
Before she even says the word, no. No, I'm getting into tennis. That's where all the money is. Yeah. Or at least a halfback, yeah. Look at Jerome Luai. That's crazy.
Let's not go there again, please, Millie.
Yeah, sorry. I was watching that from just over there.
No, so who'd you agree with?
I was feeling the heat, and I hate to say it, Brace. I kind of agree with Gal.
That's called winning, everybody.
That advice about not letting GT play rugby league, your point of view might be a good reason not to.
It's okay, James, it's okay.
Look, I also didn't realise how many players they'd signed, and I've only seen maybe one post about it. I've seen Jerome Luai everywhere.
What's with the Perth Bears hate here tonight?
No, I feel sorry for the Perth Bears.
Yes.
So need to do a little bit more, maybe.
All right, yes.
They should do a little bit more, exactly.
But stop naming the problems, come up with solutions, people. Let's be proactive.
Social media.
Can do. Last one on Origin I want to get from you, Alana. The Blues come away with a win. You were sidelined for the whole thing. What needs to improve for the second game?
I'd love to see him play a little bit more footy, to be honest. The Blues, I thought they played in the hands of Queensland. I think we've got 2 centres and a winger called Jamie Chapman. And the more we bring them into the attacking footy, the better. Look, I think they did a lot right, and it is a big ask playing against Queensland in a State of Origin game as your first game for months on end. So they played brutal. And they also reacted to what happened to Queensland. They had a couple of HIAs from their big girls in the middle, so they played through them. And I liked that from John Strange. I like some of his interchanges, bringing Jamie Frazzard through the middle just to have a little bit more fatigue. But I love attacking footy, and I think we've got a lot more up our sleeve. So hopefully that game under the belt, they proved that they could play tough, that they could win an Origin game at home in Newcastle, which they haven't done yet. And I hope we open things up.
What she said, yeah, we're going to do all of that.
Bang.
Yeah, get
Millie,
you in for half-time speech.
Well done on the first up win. Great to have you on the show for the very last time. We'll see you in Brisbane.
Beautiful. See you
Millie
then.
Elliott, the Blues women's superstar, joining us here at 100%. We'll look ahead to round 10 in just a moment. All right, it's tip time here for the 10th round of the comp. Gal, who you got? 9 games.
Dolphins, Cows, Panthers.
All right, for you, Alana.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I agree with Gal. Dolphins, Cowboys, Panthers.
Oh, please, Gus, give us something.
Cowboys, Panthers.
Yes, of course. Doggies to bounce back as well. I got in the split screen tonight, Gus.
Right?
I got in your split screen.
You did very well, James.
Thank you. Did you agree with me? Did you agree with me?
Come on, the Bears.
There we go.
Come on, the
See?
Bears.
There we go. Some encouragement. Thank you, Gal. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Tom. See you next week. Bye.